Hey, Isabella. So, we're talking today about something that's just everywhere in modern dating, right? This idea of the roster and those dreaded talking stages. It's just such a common thing now, especially with dating apps.
Oh my gosh, Sophia, you totally get it. Like, it's a term I hear constantly. But for anyone who might not be super familiar, can you kind of break down what exactly the talking stage is and then how that like morphs into having a roster? Because, it sounds a little intense, right? Absolutely, Isabella. So the talking stage, really, it's that informal period where you're just getting to know someone. You're texting, maybe going on a few initial dates, just exploring mutual feelings, shared interests, compatibility, before anything becomes like explicitly committed. It's a phase to explore. And then a roster, that just takes it a step further. It's the practice of engaging with multiple people in these talking stages simultaneously. You're just like exploring options without being tied down to one person just yet, you know?
Wow. So you're like actively exploring multiple potential connections at once. It just sounds like a lot to manage emotionally. And well, how do people even keep up with all that? Is it like a new thing or has it always been, just under the radar?
Well, it's certainly more overt now with apps making it so easy to connect with many people. But yes, managing it, that's where the dilemma comes in, the true challenge. It's not just about finding someone, it's about doing it thoughtfully.
Okay, so that brings me right to my next question, Sophia. Because when you're talking to multiple people, trying to build, some kind of connection, it just feels like it could get really sticky, ethically speaking. How do you manage a roster without like leading people on or, being dishonest? It's a big concern for a lot of folks, I think.
That's a fantastic point, Isabella, and you're absolutely right to bring it up. Honesty and transparency are paramount here. Really, if you're in the early stages, it's generally considered ethical to date multiple people as long as you're like upfront about your intentions and lack of exclusivity. Clear communication. If the topic of exclusivity comes up, you need to openly say, hey, I'm not exclusive. Ambiguity, that's what causes hurt and resentment, not necessarily the dating itself. You don't have to share every single detail, but clarity about non-exclusivity is vital, absolutely. And never make promises you don't intend to keep, or imply exclusivity if you're still seeing others. That's what we call breadcrumbing, and it's not fair.
Breadcrumbing. Wow. Yeah, that makes so much sense. So it's really about managing expectations and just being upfront when asked rather than like volunteering all the information, right?
Exactly. It's about mutual understanding. If someone assumes exclusivity and you're not there, it's your responsibility to gently clarify. Many experts emphasize that being honest about non-exclusivity prevents it from becoming an ethical issue. It really does.
This all sounds like a lot of emotional labor, Sophia. Like, seriously. Juggling multiple conversations, dates, remembering details. I can imagine that just leads to burnout, like super quickly. Are there any strategies people can use to like prevent that overwhelming feeling?
Oh, absolutely, Isabella. Burnout is a really real risk here. And it's not just emotional, it's mental too. My first piece of advice is to limit your roster. Most experts suggest like 3 to 5 people at a time, max. Anything more and you're just spreading yourself too thin. You can't genuinely connect. Also, keep initial dates relatively short, like an hour or two. It helps manage your time and energy effectively. And mindful texting is key. Don't fall into the trap of endless texting that creates false intimacy. Use texts for planning, quick check-ins, that's it.
Oh, the endless texting. That's a huge one. Like, I totally get that creating false intimacy. So it's about setting boundaries then?
Totally. Set clear boundaries for your time and emotional investment. Don't overpromise availability. And you have to regularly check in with yourself. How are you feeling? If you're anxious, guilty, or just spread too thin, it's a sign to reduce your roster or take a break. Focus on presence, not performance. Don't try to optimize every conversation. Just try to connect genuinely. That really helps prevent the fatigue, you know?
Okay, so let's say someone is doing all of this, right? They're being honest, they're managing their energy. What happens when they actually start to feel a stronger connection with one person on their roster? Like, how do you navigate that transition? Or even how do you respectfully, like, exit from the other connections?
That's such a crucial part, Isabella, because it will happen, hopefully. First, be clear about what you want. Define your own expectations. Are you looking for something serious or more casual, long term? And then pay attention to their actions. Do they match their words? Consistency, how they treat you, those are big indicators. If you do develop stronger feelings for one person, that's when you initiate the define the relationship or DTR conversation. It doesn't have to be dramatic, you know? It can be a simple, hey, I'm really enjoying our time and I'd like to focus on seeing just you. It's an expression of your desire for exclusivity.
Okay, so that DTR conversation, it's really important. But what about, the other people? How do you respectfully end things with them when you've chosen to focus on someone else?
Right, those graceful exits are essential. Just communicate respectfully. A simple, honest message like, hey, I've really enjoyed getting to know you, but I've decided to pursue a connection with someone else, is usually enough. No need for a huge explanation or a dramatic breakup. You weren't exclusive. Just be kind and clear. That's the mature way to do it, truly.
So, are there actually any real benefits to managing a dating roster? Like, why would someone even choose to do this instead of just, focusing on one person at a time from the start?
Oh, absolutely, Isabella. When it's handled thoughtfully, there are definitely several advantages. One huge one is self-discovery. By exploring different dynamics, you learn so much more about yourself, what you truly want in a partner, and what kind of relationship actually suits you best. It's like a really, really powerful way to gain clarity. And it prevents premature commitment. You avoid locking yourself into something too quickly with someone who might not be the right fit, you know? It gives you perspective.
That makes sense. So it's almost like a dating strategy to really understand yourself better, not just, finding a partner. Exactly. And it can actually expedite the search. By interacting with multiple people, you gather more information, identify compatibility more efficiently, potentially speeding up the process of finding that long-term partner. Plus, for those who tend to get attached quickly, a roster can help maintain emotional pacing and prevent overinvestment in one person too early. It's about balancing exploration with honesty and self-preservation. It's an evolving landscape, and with clear communication and conscious effort, it's totally possible to navigate it ethically and effectively. It's all about intention, really.
If this resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. For daily inspiration, thought nuggets, and community, follow Good Life Guide on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube. Watch us here on YouTube to sit back and relax, or listen on Spotify and other podcast platforms for convenient, on-the-go listening. Find more resources at www.goodlifeguide.org. We genuinely love spreading this awareness and appreciate the community we're building together.